Hey guys, John McNaughton here from Current Obsession. I've decided today that I'm going to put in a through-hull fitting on the side of my boat here to bring the sink drain out through the side of the boat and drain directly into the bay instead of into a sump pump in the boat, which then pumps it out into the bay. Problem with that is that all the grease from your sink over time accumulates in that sump pit and then causes a big buildup of grease all around your sump. Sometimes it prohibits your sump pump from the float from working, and you end up having the sump overflow, and then you have this rotten smell in your boat. You have to deal with all that. So rather than going through that every time, every spring, you get it all set up and cleaned out, and then throughout the summer you have to deal with cleaning it out, and it's just something you have to always have your ear ready to hear whether the pump's running or not running. And so rather than having to deal with that, I've decided to drill a hole in the side of the boat, and I've got my through hull fitting here. It's about 1.5 inch fitting with a 2-inch thread hole. So we'll drill that in there. I've got some Life Seal product here, which is designed especially, the guys like it a lot for the fiberglass. It's mildew resistant, fast curing, doesn't shrink. You can use it above or below the water line. So I'll use that to make sure I get it in there and seated nicely, and I'll squish out the sides, and then we'll deal with the excess later. Bought myself a new hole saw, so we have a nice clean cut, and we have some painter's tape put there with a little mark so that we don't have any chipping. Hopefully that'll just keep everything nice and clear. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a drill, see what happens, and wish me luck. There we go. That's not, it's either a great sharp bit or a very thin hull, one of the two. So we have at least, looks like about 5/8 thick. Looks like we have a gel coat and then a balsa core, which the Sea Rays were notorious for using to keep their boats lightweight, and they use that to shape the boat. That only goes down so far, and then it's fiberglass, solid fiberglass throughout the hull. So you wouldn't want it that thin below, and you hit something and you'd have water coming on. So anyways, I'm through there. Now we'll see if this fitting fits. Let's have a little dry fit. Perfect. So that'll be it in there. I'll have to thread it on the other side. I'll probably tape it in position and go inside. So I'll be back in a moment. All right guys, we're back now on the outside. I went inside and everything's good. Could have been a little bit closer, maybe 3 inches further this way, but it's in a good spot. I have access under the cupboard. I can see it clear as day. So I'm going to go ahead and fit this in, and what I've done is I put some green painter's tape around the threads so that when I shove it through and all the Sikaflex gets on it, I don't want it all over the threads while I'm trying to fight putting the thread on, and it's all over my tools and, you know, making it difficult. So I'll just do that. I'll leave a little flag on it just so you can easily grab it once it's in an awkward position. So I'm going to put it in there like so, make sure it fits nicely, and get it all lined up nicely. And I will go ahead and cut into my tube of Life Seal and make sure I get that all around the opening. I'm going to pop that open right now. There we go. I could use a little tip that comes with it, but I'm going to see if I can do it without, and then I can just save it as a cap and put it on, and it won't dry out on me. So I'll do that, and then when I put it in place, because I'm working by myself, I'll probably put the fitting in, and then I'll put a piece of tape over top of it, top and bottom, to hold it there. Then I'll go inside and then get the thread going on the inside. We'll see how that goes. So I'll go ahead and put some Sikaflex all around the inside of this fitting here. You do not want the balsa wood to get wet at all, because balsa wood is very porous and will soak up the moisture like there's no tomorrow. So there we go, we're all around that there, and I'll get one bead all around the perimeter of the hole there, and I'm not too worried if I have a bit too much, because I can always cut the excess off once it dries. It becomes a rubber. Whoop. And then we'll put the cap back on. I guess I could have used this cap and left the other nozzle. But anyways, so we're in. So we have this all set to go. We're nice and clean here. And see, I'm gonna make sure the slots that are in this are up and down, so any water that might run there would run down the slot and out, rather than having it horizontal. So there we go, we're shoving it in that way, and we're pushing it in, and it is squishing out all around, which is perfect. And as I tighten it, it should, there we go, that's nice and straight. I'll just put a bit of painter's tape on here just to hold it in place. There we go, a little bit, we'll do up and down just to be extra safe. There we go. So we'll just leave it like that. I'll go inside and get the thread on, and we'll bring the camera in and see if we can see in that little tight space if we can make sense of it. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Now, I'm on the boat now. I'm squatted down in front of the sink just to get all set up here, just to show you. So I'm gonna turn the camera around if I can. Might have to turn it around just for you since I don't know how to do this. There we go. Hold on, I'll spin it around for you. There we go. So there is what I'm up against. I have the old drain sitting there, and in the background that's sort of got a green tinge to it is where my through hull fitting has come through. And I just have to get my thread on there, take that tape off, get that all nice and tight, and then I'll have to get my hose, which I purchased as well. And I think everything cost me about $70 for the through hull fitting, the life seal, this hose here, which is 1.5 inches diameter. I got a 3-foot length just in case. And what else? So the fitting and this and the Sikaflex. Yeah, there you go. There's $70 gone in no time. So $70 does the job, gets it done. So I'm going to go ahead, get set up, and see if we can get this further along. See you in a bit. Well, got my fitting. You can see down in the cupboard where I have to get to. Nice and dark and tight quarters. I'll have to grab my flashlight, which I have right here. Get the flashlight, go down there, take that tape off, see if I can get set up. Do it all, and I don't want to have you watch me do this whole thing and struggle, so we'll get back to you in a moment. All right, we're back. Well, that was it wasn't hard, but it was aggravating to try to get into that tight space there, but after a few swear words I managed to get her done. So I will flip her around there and let you have a look at what we got. I'll get my flashlight so you can see. So there's the fitting right there, all in place, and Sikaflex there ready to go. I just moved the ductwork that was there out of the way for now. I'll put it back. And then the next part will be I'll go outside and make sure everything's nice and straight outside so we're good to go. Then the task of putting the hose and cutting it to length and putting the clamps on and getting this done. So hopefully that'll be the next picture I'll show you. And wish me luck, and we'll see you back in a few minutes. Hey guys, I'm back. Job complete. Like I said, a few swear words and a few cuts here and there, and we got her all done. I'll just show you here as I turn it around. You can see now we've got the fitting is in place. We got our nice clamp on there with our 3/16 hex head screw to tighten her down, and we got her all up into the drain. So nice clean job there. Hopefully that does the trick. Might have to get in there again with a crescent wrench and tighten up that that nut there. Couldn't quite get it as tight with my hand grip in that tight space, so I'll probably get the spanner on there and tighten her down. But that's it. Now we got a sink that drains overboard and no more grease. And the old line that was there that goes to the sump, all I did was cap off the top of it and left it there as future, in case it has to go back the way it was for some reason, or I wanted to have a fish in order to get something from here to there. So anyways, that's it. That's the job done. Quite happy myself that I got it done. Stay tuned for more and see what my next current obsession will be. Take care. See you next time.